Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez and other progressives looking to force through immigration reform in the massive spending bill. The socialist Democrat telling protesters that they demand amnesty for illegal migrants, no matter what the parliamentarian says.
Senate needs to step up, override the parliamentarian, okay? The parliamentarian is not elected. Our demand is for the Senate to override the parliamentarian, include a full path to citizenship.
Dagen McDowell, Joe Concha, it doesn't matter what the rules are. According to AOC, she wants amnesty in this massive spending plan. Despite there are rules when you take a spending plan through a reconciliation budget process, Dagen.
Just a reminder to Ocasio-Cortez, her term is 2 years. She's in the House of Representatives. The Senate, it's a different body, more power, 6-year term. So maybe the Congresswoman can pump her brakes a little bit. I know she's pretty and she's young and she gets a lot of attention, but she clearly thinks that she can say whatever she wants to and not get any actual pushback. Look at the comments she made about essentially Walgreens making up stuff about the robberies, the runaway theft in stores in places like San Francisco. And by the way, and also a reminder to her, the American people are standing up and standing against the dangerous left-wing ideology, the liberal Luniverse that is New York City. New York City, where she is represents part of, I think, Queens and the Bronx. New York City is getting ready to give 800,000 non-citizens, these are legally documented people in New York, but non-citizens, the right to vote in local elections. That's not a go anywhere else, because the American people see how dangerous these policies are, starting with that tree in flames outside of Fox headquarters.
Unbelievable. I mean, you know, when you consider all of these things that she wants done, Joe, I mean, do you think she considers the American citizen at all? I mean, first with the amnesty and the illegals that she wants in this country, what's the impact on American citizens? And then her complete lack of acknowledgement of these smash and grab robberies, saying that they didn't occur. What is the impact to those people who actually were robbed and those people who watched in fear as these people went and stole all of these goods? Is there any acknowledgement whatsoever to the hardworking American citizen out there with her policies that she continues to talk about?
0.0 acknowledgement, Maria. We're looking at more than 2 million people crossing the U.S. southern border. You know it well. You've gone down there, done some actual reporting, unlike most journalists. And 2 million people, think about what that is. That is the combined populations of Denver, Washington, D.C., and Boston. So that's what we're looking at here. And AOC, being a self-declared socialist, doesn't like the rules of a democracy. Go figure. This is not a serious person. This is a lawmaker who has yet to pass one major piece of legislation, yet gets tons of media love. And when a red tsunami comes in 2022, her wing of the party, the squad wing, will be partially to blame, because they are completely out of touch, to Dagen's point, with the American people. Yet the president embraces them, embraces that side of the party, which is why he's looking like a one-term president, Maria.
Yeah, well, for sure.